Hi guys, I'm Olivia Gold. Welcome to my channel. I know it's been some time. Okay, I don't even want to have to go through it again and say that I'm not consistent. It's very clear. Life is crazy, but I'm here. Been thinking about you guys. Missed actually talking to you guys and doing what I know I'm supposed to be doing. But child, life has been lifing. In a good way, in a growing way, in a stretching way, and that's all that matters. Yeah, so if you're new here, hi, I'm Olivia Gold. I'm the founder of Life of a Marketing Girl, and I also blog content, fashion, lifestyle, beauty, but most importantly, yeah, marketing is my thing. So I created a channel to share insights and experiences. There's no better way to give lessons and learning, especially if you're going through it yourself. So that's why I'm here. Long story short, life has been very busy, and I just did like a mini TikTok because I actually just came back to TikTok today. So there's been a lot of new things happening. Life has been so busy, it's actually made me step away from social media because my life in real life has been moving at 150 miles per hour with work, with projects, family, friends. So I just kind of took the stance to just be present in it. It's been great and I've really enjoyed it. The reason why I did, I think before that, I've been on social media for years. It's been a big part of my life and my career. It just kind of drowned me a bit, and there was so much noise, and I think I was a victim of even getting lost in the noise. I'm not afraid to admit that. And stepping away from social media, not on purpose but naturally because life got busy, allowed me to really just think for myself, focus on the things I should be focusing on, taking the time and sowing my time into the things that I need to do. I'd say I got a lot out of it. I was able to kind of relearn myself, relearn what's important to me, what I should be putting my time into. And as I go through my list in terms of what I want to achieve, I'm also ticking that off. So I feel like it's like a reminder and a bit of a testament to share back to you guys. Be afraid to step away from social media because obviously there's so much going on, there's so many platforms, which is great, but we also have to be cognizant of what information we're taking from it and making sure that getting confused or being influenced so much by other people, you forget your own voice, because really and truly your voice should be the most important voice. Well, really God's and then yourself. You should be the most important voice, and making sure you're making decisions based on what you think and what you believe versus what you see somewhere else and then you just like mimic it, you know? So I guess that kind of explains why I've been away, but that's the truth and the reality. So I wanted to come on here and like show that. So I'm back, I'm in my bedroom, and I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna make a video because there's no excuse. This video will just be a bit of mini life update, what's been happening career-wise, what I've been focusing on, what I've achieved, what I've learned, and hopefully it can be helpful to you guys. So yeah, grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your wine, whatever time it is, and let's chat and actually catch up from Olivia, Life of a Marketing Girl. So, what's been happening? So I have been in work mode, working hard girl season, work girl season, whatever you want to hashtag call it. Your girl has been working and putting her foot in it, which is great. In a space where, as I said before, industry, different category, and I'm learning so much. And sometimes when you look back, you always realize why these things happen, because of course it allows me to be of service and share with you guys what I'm learning. I work in the wellness and lifestyle space, and of course that opens me up to more information, more knowledge, more news, because of course I'm catering to a different audience than my background, which is fashion, lifestyle and beauty, which I love. But being in this space actually makes me speak to more people from a mass perspective. So my view and how I think and my strategy towards certain activations is also different as well. At the moment I'm working on a brand in the wellness space, and it's summertime, so it's a big season for us, so I'm heavy in activation mode. So there's events happening like every month. I've had to travel for work as well, which has been great, and see the product in a different country and see how it's perceived by the consumers over there, which has been great, you know, learning for myself. So that's taken up a lot of my time. And one thing I will say is, when you are working on a bigger brand that has mass reach, you really underestimate the operational part of it, because that is the bread and butter to the success of any marketing campaign that you're working on. Making sure the operational is really tight and making sure it's seamless, because that will make everything else work out really well. Making sure you have enough stock. Like, it sounds so basic, but these are the fundamentals to make sure that, you know, a marketing campaign is a success, because the story that you are telling, you want to make sure the product is the consumer at the right time and at the right place. So that's one thing. Another thing is also making sure that the stock is positioned in the right place, so it is accessible to consumers as well. That's definitely something I've been working on. And with those 2 points that I'm making, I've had to work with so many different departments than I would have in fashion. Well, kind of, yeah, a bit away from it. Like, other people would deal with that, like, but I was aware of it, but I wasn't in the detail, like literally on the phone to supply chain, understanding where the product is and where it's going to be, or being on the phone to dealers, and just the operational like perspective of things, which has been great because it really allows you to be really cognizant of the tiny details. Spreadsheets more than ever. I've like discovered a newfound respect to so many other disciplines within the business world. You know, because we work in marketing, I'm talking about being you, so you're involved too. Discovered a newfound respect to so many other disciplines within the business world. A lot of marketing is the end element of it. I have a cough, so apologies if I have to start and stop. At the end, when, you know, the product has been made, it's been approved, it's legible in the country, all this politics that you have to get through to get the product ready and pretty for the consumers, right? Then it gets to marketing, and then obviously you build the story, you build the strategy, all of that fun stuff, which I love and like. But for me, I feel like going through this process, I've like found a new love and respect for that hard graft, behind the scenes, supply chain, quality control. Tiny details is what makes a product top spec and really deliver what it says. And then it makes me think about the luxury industry, how much time they take, you know, to make products. When we think about Bentley, it takes, you know, 4 times the amount of time it is to make that car versus making a Ford. And you really have to take into consideration why that is the case, because of the time they take, the quality they take. So it allows, even from a marketing perspective, you can actually tell a much more desirable, you know, story versus a mass product when you're trying to actually just speak to a wider audience. So to be way more strategic, my objectives, and kind of working on plans and executing them, which has been great. That's why like stretching myself and moving into a new category was so important to me. So for those that don't know, I spent 10 years of my career working in fashion retail, head offices and relaunching campaigns with men's, women's wear, kids. I've done it all. And I've also dabbled in a bit of beauty, but now I work in wellness and lifestyle category. So it's a whole different pillar, but it still speaks to the same audience, but of course the need state is completely different. So my perspective and how I speak to consumer is different as well. So that's been really interesting, because I kind of speak in general here, so don't like quote me on it. But sometimes in a lot of the roles I've done, when you speak to consumers, when you're trying to market fashion products, collections and lines, it's very much from a desirability, aspirational point of view, which is great because you can be quite dreamy, you can be quite disruptive in the stories that you tell. When you're talking about wellness, it's such a personal thing. It's mind, body, soul, so many different touch points to it, from a sentimental point of view, from a mental health point of view, from a physical point of view. So you have to be really targeted in your approach, you have to be really honest, and you have to have credible interviews and, you know, statistics to help back up so your product need state that you're actually telling consumers. Allowed me to be a bit more tactful in my thinking. I think it's important that we want to tell the customers, of course the product is what it is and it does what it says, so I'm drawing from that, nothing is being made up, but I'm learning anyway, and learning from teams, management and things like that. So yeah, I wanted to come on here and just share that really. So that's what's been taking up my time, a work perspective. And just before I went on holiday, I did my first Life of a Marketing Girl event. Can we clap for me, please? That's been something I really wanted to bring back. So as you guys know, this is something that I've been doing for years since I've been in the industry, whether I've been doing it behind the scenes or I've actually been putting on events. We had our first one of 2024, thank God. I was literally in the thick of it with work, so I just don't even know how I even had time to even plan this, but I did, and that's that's like amazing. Had our first event of 2024 and lucky to reach out to friends who work in the industry, and they were on the panel. Had a marketing director who was previously the marketing director of Pinterest, and I also had two friends I was lucky enough to work with. We literally worked in the same company for 2 years together, and they've gone on to do great things. Post on it, so I'll link it so you guys can see it, but I don't have a video content, which I wish I did, but honestly I went on holiday the next day, so planning it was just ugh. But anyway, I did it, so that's what matters. But then I had my two other friends, and one of them is a social lead at Samsung UK, and then my other friend does influencer advertising at a UGC agency. So honestly, like, they're all killing it in their fields and they have so much years of experience, so it was just a no-brainer to get them on board. And the first event that we did of the year was talking about the changes in the marketing sphere, and actually I'm going to bring up what we spoke about, because it's about navigating the digital first world of marketing. And the reason why I wanted to do it was because so many platforms and there's so many ways to reach consumers. Like, it's just inevitable. It's digital first should be the, you know, should be the like strategy. Marketing B2B and B2C, so that's just what it is. And I really wanted to explore it. Many different new skill sets that have come into play, which I've spoke about before, and I really wanted to touch base and speak to different professionals within the marketing space to actually bring those examples to life and really give advice on that based on where they are in their roles. And something that I always do, I always love to have someone in a different category, in a different industry, so there's a bit more of a holistic perspective instead of just having maybe a panel of just people that's just worked in fashion or just worked in music. I like to mix it up a bit because it also gives perspective of, oh, okay, that job seems cool. It might be in tech, for example, like working in, you know, like Samsung. There's so many, you know, like nuances within the skill set of a marketer that is very helpful from a fashion, you know, like background. So I always just try to mix it up so people have a wide range to look at on the panel, also can inspire them in terms of what jobs they want to look for. It's not where you think, it's actually where you may not think. So that's what I do anyway. So the event was really cool. I always kick off with icebreaker questions because it just helps them warm up. It helps people just warm up in the room and it doesn't become so formal. I really want this to be like a really informal conversational space. When I've been to marketing events myself, sometimes it's very formal, it's very C-suite, so you can feel a bit like, oh my god, should I come? And even at the end, I spoke to so many people that were nervous because they came on their own and they didn't know if they were going to meet anyone, and I'm just like, this is not the place. This is a safe space for us, you know, to really connect and unwind and have honest conversations. We just spoke about like what are the trends people are seeing, my panelists are seeing in the industry today, which is making them aware of the involvement of the digital first space. My friend brought up a really good perspective which I loved, and she spoke about social with AI. People not to be afraid, like, don't think AI is going to replace you, you just really need to learn how to use it. And I think I've said this before, but she said it way much better, and she was basically saying that in your day job, and I can totally like relate to this, you won't have time to plan every piece of creative content, do the copy, do the actual photography, because it takes so much time, when really a lot of your time should be pouring into strategy and wider thinking. This is depending on your role, but I'm just using social media as an example. So how beneficial would it be to use AI to create a copy or give me a social media campaign that speaks to, I don't know, I'm just going to use fashion as a reference because it's quite easy and like relatable for us girlies anyway. Social campaign on summer trends. AI can build that for you, so then you know exactly the post you're going to do and the content that you can create, and then you can give that to maybe an assistant or a coordinator to work on, while you as a social media manager can really work on a strategy, the next seasonal campaign that you're working on, or the next exciting product extension that you're working on. Because I think AI is scaring a lot of people. I think for me, I wasn't scared, I was just a bit like, what is the hype, like what is it? Just really explain how you use it in your role, and I think she brought it to life so simply. And it's just like, learn to use it so it doesn't use you or replace you, and you can become an expert in the field within AI marketing, and honestly you're going to set yourself up for the next phase of the industry. So we spoke about that, and that was so enlightening, and loads of people use that. And I don't know about you, but in a lot of corporations, definitely in the beta stage, specifically within like the technology and VR space, which is great, but when it comes to this like social media space, I don't think it's kind of honed in on. She gave a lot of context to that, so that was amazing. Actually even spoke about Let me do this. This is gonna die. Oh gosh, the ghetto. I'm enjoying it. I don't know about you guys, I am. The thing we spoke about is just even dealing with your stakeholders and how do you find your mentor, or how do you feel comfortable inserting your opinion in certain rooms. And it was great because I was able to have someone at C-suite level on the panel. She gave such a perspective for people, especially juniors, mid-level range management. It's so important to have someone in your team that's junior to you, but they have a different perspective on marketing, because she can learn from them and also they can learn from her. So it's an exchange. Really speaks life into that junior person. Be afraid to insert your opinion in meetings and in rooms. What I took from it that I want to tell you guys, being on the panel and also listening, is listen first and try and always be the last person to speak and add your opinion. Really interesting because you'll add something that no one else has said yet, but you would have learned already first. And I always think we've got 2 ears, 1 mouth, so we're really supposed to be listening more and speaking less, and which is not a bad thing, because you say your opinion but you're doing it at the right time and also you're adding value. I always talk about that. It's my favorite thing to say. It was an amazing event and had such great feedback, so I'm going to be doing more. I'm just planning the next 2, and it's always finding a venue, which is the most annoying thing, but once I find that, we're going to be on our way because we need to keep this going. So it's been great to put an event together and actually have that face-to-face time. I also want to do one online because I know so many people can't attend, and I want to make sure I'm reaching people that's outside of the UK. So next on my to-do list, so I'm really excited about that. Actually do the next Life of a Marketing Girl event. And also I went on holiday for 2 weeks and like I tapped out. I didn't do anything work-wise. Phone was off. I had the best time. I did little like TikToks of my outfits, just having fun, being in my soft girl era, as they say. The best time. So I felt refueled. I've come back and I've just gone head down into work because it's activation season, so we're in it, making things happen, which is so fun. It's been a busy bee, but it's been useful for you to hear what I've been up to, what I've learned, the events that I've done, and what you learned from that as well. I'll be back next week with another video because I reorganized my life and my schedule and I have a better format, so I'm really excited to actually connecting with you guys and continuing to share what I learned as a Life of a Marketing Girl. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Your girl is here. We're going to talk and yeah, we're going to have a good time, and hopefully I can connect with you guys more, answer your question and give you more advice. So yeah, stay tuned guys. Remember, please like and subscribe, and yeah, follow me because we're going to go on a journey together. So bye guys.